Magic is a common motif in the sagas and is used to create a variety of moods and narrative possibilities within the story. It can foreshadow something within the plot, create an atmosphere, solve plot problems or cause them, and even be used to comment on complex issues of gender and social status. In the sagas and in Norse culture, magic is a deeply feminine art. Mythology tells us it was taught to the gods by the Vanir goddess Freyja. Johanna gave me some examples of magic users and feminine power in the sagas.
I mean, there are a huge amount of women in the sagas overall who engage in magic. The depiction is not, it's not like they're all evil witches or something like we might imagine. It's women from all walks of life, really. So we see the entire range of, queens, very high status women, and down the social scale all the way to women who are pretty much on the brink of starvation, and are extremely powerless. So it's not entirely a cliched figure, the woman who does magic. We don't really know that much about the performance of magic in most cases, so a lot of the time the saga author will just say that, oh, she said a few words and that was a spell, but we don't actually know what the words were, so they don't record the formula. And then she made some hand gestures, or she walked around the house and sniffed around, or something like that. So we don't really know in a lot of cases what magic rituals looked like, or magic formulas. But there's one very elaborate scene in Eirik Saga, a saga of Eric the Red, which is set in Greenland, where a woman who is a prophetess or a seeress travels around between farms, and she tells prophecies. And what's really interesting is that there's a kind of elaborate preparation for her, or welcoming her and giving her certain types of food, and making sure that she's comfortable. And then we get a very detailed description of her clothes, and some of the clothes might actually be based on some Sami dress, so the Sami people who live in northern Scandinavia. And then there are some elements of her dress that might be taken from myth. So I think she has gloves trimmed or with cat skin or something that might refer to Freya's cats. But at any rate, she can't perform the magic ritual with anybody without anybody to help her, and no one wants to help her because they all say they're Christian. And but she finally convinces one woman to help her, and they have this conversation about where the woman learned how to perform the ritual and chant the verses that need to be chanted. And apparently this is the only scene in the entire corpus that passes the so-called Bechdel test.
Oh, yeah.
So two women who are not talking about a man.
Okay.
But in any case, they perform the magic ritual, and so she's able to kind of go into another state of mind maybe, and see into the future. And she comes back then, and she says that everything is going to be fine. And it has a function of sort of reassuring people that they are going to get through this winter that seems to be extremely hard. And then there are all kinds of other magic rituals in Greenland as well, but it's not tied to Greenland at all. But there's a really interesting episode in Fosbrevet Saga, the saga of the Sworn Brothers, where there's the saga hero is in trouble, and he gets into this skirmish and kills somebody, and I think it's his mother who is a widow, and so she she's able to do magic. So she's kind of pursuing him with her magic spirits and trying to figure out where he is. And he's on the run and he's hiding. And then with some help, he gets to the kind of this little hut where a woman and a man live, and she is also able to do magic, this woman, and her name is Grima, which is means mask. So usually if a woman is called Grima, you know that she's able to do magic. And so she hides him, and then the other woman, the widow who's lost her son, comes and says that she's learned that this saga hero is there because of the magic spirits, and she wants them to hand him over. But Grima is able to conceal him with her magic. So in this episode, it really shows that, magic is neither good or evil. Usually, it's entirely dependent on the perspective. So it's like another tool. And when the saga hero has healed and he leaves, Grima, he pays her quite a lot of money, and it's very clear that she's poor, and so it seems to be a way of actually earning some money, in a way. So there's a huge range of kind of functions for magic in the sagas. When it comes to men, it seems to have much more of a kind of queer aspect to it. So if you're a man and you do magic, you're often, there's some kind of hint that there are things about you that are, effeminate or unmanly in some way.